I should have been recording when I said all of that. I ain't gonna lie to you. Probably wait. It's a very touchy, triggering subject, and you need to approach it with a clear mind. Hey, I don't disagree. All I'm saying is, like, yo, with the Toronto show coming up, New Hope King, y'all better put together some merch somehow, some way. Put together, just do it, bro. Trust me, y'all got like less than a month. Y'all got less than a month to put some clothes together, bro. A bunch of hoodies, sweatpants, t-shirts, crew necks, hats, socks. Try it, man. I ain't gonna lie. It's gonna work. Y'all gonna sell out. That's a fact. Anyway, let's keep going. We got fantastic hip-hop. We're gonna dive into this. Everybody talking about this freestyle. So let's get started. Yo, right here. Right here in the small box. Right here in the small box. Welcome back to Single Seater Reactions, only on the Flex Mind Network. I'm Flex. Welcome back to the channel. We're here with fantastic hip-hop, guys. We need to talk about it. I want to go to as many outlets as I can to get this information. This video is titled, How Lyrical Rap Has Now Officially Taken Over Hip-Hop Again. As it should. As it should. Well, let's dive into this. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think about the reaction. Hit the notification bell so you get notified when I drop my videos or when I'm live, like right now. So with that being said, let's go ahead. Let's dive in. Let's get started. We got a 10-minute video by this dude. Let's go.
We get into how we just got one of the coolest moments in...
Dude is at... Yo, Fantastic Hip Hop is almost at 100K subscribers. That's crazy.
all of recent hip-hop with what just went down. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe so everyone can see how competitive hip-hop and rap beef can actually be when everyone loves the sport of what they are doing. And now with that said, when it comes to what just went down in hip-hop, with what we have seen from three of the most iconic rappers of the last 15 years at this point. Well, really, the next era of competitive hip-hop, rap battling, and ciphering may have just been started, as with Ab-Soul, Joey Badass, and Big Sean linking up for a cipher together where the three of them rhymed against one another, and specifically, Soul and Joey went back and forth over everything that Joey had been saying about KendrickLamar and the entire West Coast and TDE in the beginning of the year. Well, with what just happened, we saw some of the most skilled lyricists on the planet defend the East and West Coast and battle directly in all of the essence of the precedent that KendrickLamar has set, as he has turned hip-hop back into a genre that actually cares about lyricism. And now with all of the bars and disses that were thrown out here, and with what all of this is gonna mean going forward.
It was so amazing, Laura. It was so amazing. I never really enjoyed the ear of auto-tune and men sounding like they have cotton balls, oh my god, in their cheeks. I don't care that rap ears. I don't care that rap ear. I want to pretend didn't. Oh my god. Oh my god. Don't kill me. The cotton balls joke was crazy.
Very soon. Well, really, these three MCs may have just opened a new way of big name rappers settling their differences once and for all. And now, before we go any further into what all of this is really about to do for hip hop as a whole, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It helps me out a ton, and as this is right now the most important thing that has happened in hip-hop really this year outside of anything that KendrickLamar has done directly himself.
You're not a fan of rappers who mumble? Valid. It's a vibe. It's a hype thing, you know?
In terms of advancing the art form forward, really be sure to leave that like so everyone can see how amazing this is for the culture. And so now with that said, with what has just went down with Ab-Soul, Big Sean, and Joey, in an era where the demand for lyrical hip-hop has went up and a lot of MCs have been getting more competitive whether they have been leading onto it or not, we have finally seen how competitive and exciting lyrical rap can be outside of KendrickLamar's own run, as these MCs didn't just come together and hold back words here, but they really made this thing an all-time memorable cipher and back and forth where we are seeing some of the best MCs just use their talents on a level like we have not seen in so long. And now with Joey and Soul specifically, seeing these two go back and forth all over Joey's disses towards KendrickLamar and the West Coast earlier in the year from his...
But the problem is that it was happily married. Everything was working great. The lyricists were getting their songs out, and the rappers that were just on some hype shit and a hype vibe, they were getting their songs out too. What I'm explaining is the early 2000s, because back then, like, yo, everybody had a pocket, but everybody had their own moment to shine, as long as they understood how to seize their moment. the best way they could. We learned that they didn't fully understand the marketing and everything back then, but what they really did was they knew how to push the music. Back then, it wasn't a digital age, but they still knew how to capture the audience with what they did with their music. So it's kind of unfortunate that the lyricists are separated from the rap niggas. But once upon a time, everybody had their own time to shine as long as they knew what they were doing. So it sucks that we can't go back to that again, but it would be nice. It's healthy for music. Because too much of one thing can really do a lot of damage to something, as well as too much of another thing can do damage as well. But that balance, regardless of how well that teeters and totters, that balance is key. Because at the end of the day, you need that balance in the middle. Now you can shift it however you want by putting more stock on the one side or putting more stock on the other side. But as long as it's still balanced, you will never have a problem. But they literally took away a whole other side and said, y'all can have this for a long time. For however long y'all want it, you can have this. And then forgot about this. Now that's why everyone's talking about lyricists again, because now that when Drake got dethroned, he said, let's take away this and y'all get this now. But why isn't it just both? Just well balanced? Because that's how their system works. Their system said, we can't figure out both at the same time, but we can take away one and then we can focus on one. And then when this one gets tired and boring, we can focus on the other. And we can go back and forth. We can go back and forth like this. But going back and forth is the reason why there's so much of a separation of music. When once upon a time, it worked together somehow. I'm going to tap in later, y'all. Keep it mobby. Holla in Discord Flex. Yes, sir, I will. Don't worry, T-Dub. Take care, bro. Enjoy your day. And I can only say that because I believe said he was high as fuck, so it could be his cotton mouth and pasty in some song and cotton comments. Maybe not that wrong. I don't know. Drake wasn't a lyrical man. He was more vibes and feelings, in my opinion. I agree with you on the vibes and feelings. But the vibes and feelings was just an extension of the rap nigga shit. Now that's taken away in a sense where it's hard for them to drop now. The lyricists are getting their shit off. So the lyricists are going to have the opportunity, and the lyricists are going to have their time to branch out and find different avenues within this genre of lyricism. And they get the opportunity to explore and go different ways. But I'm saying, like, yo, these things used to be side by side. And however way you marketed it is when you would get your shine. But they're just marketing for a career now instead of marketing for a moment. Let's keep going, because y'all know I can talk forever.
His songs The Ruler's Back and Sorry Not Sorry, and just with the very idea of that matchup and seeing this get addressed live in of itself, I mean, while people were starting to make fun of Joey for a while because it seemed like he wasn't backing up these words anymore and just gave up, I think we gotta take that back because he showed up here and stood on his words in an era where more rappers have been running away from their own decisions, and Joey literally decided to directly put himself where he had to stand on everything that he said and put his pen to the test in the most competitive space that a rapper can be in, which is of course surrounded by other great MCs. And now with all three of these rappers spitting some of the best lyrical performances that I have heard all year, and with Joey and Soul's verses specifically having major implications on where hip-hop will go next, as Joey has now started a bigger beef.
I agree with you, Rebecca. And yo, just watching this video reminds me, I need to get back to more jalopy. Videos. So I think I have some here that are saved. If anything, I'll go to his page, but I need to get to more jalopy videos because there's some things I need to talk about.
with the entire genre than ever. I mean, let's just get into what everyone said and what all this means. And now, since this really is one of the best lyrical competitions we have witnessed in so long, and everyone's debating on who won this thing and who had the best verse, to play along at home, I made a little scorecard that you can share around and crown the winner of this thing with. And please be sure to put up your answers and let me know who you think took the crown. And now, within this surreal moment of lyrical titans clashing, well, Big Sean kicked things off, and I have to say, well, Big Sean always seems to be getting mixed reception with pretty much everything he does, and that has been the standard for about his entire career. He did come out strong here and set the tone for this just to be a straight bar fest, but now while Big Sean was not really dissing here or engaging in this bigger back and forth like Soul and Joey were in terms...
That's a problem with lyricism now because remember, guys, we're in a crash out generation with a bunch of YNs, right? If y'all hear some of the songs that they're remixing or that they're sampling out there, they're remixing classics, but they're turning it into gun talk. I'll play one after just to show y'all an example, but because we live in a crash out generation with a bunch of YNs doing a whole bunch of bullshit, people want to hear the negativity now. The people feed off negativity. We're not feeding off the positivity anymore. The majority, let me take that back. The majority are feeding off of the negativity. That's what they're feeding off of. That's what they like. So that's what they push. You know? So now because like they prefer the negativity, that's why Big Sean's bars are being overshadowed because he never came in with no violence. He never came in with no hate, or he never came in with no competition, or the fact that he wanted to compete in his heart. That's why he got overshadowed by Joey and Soul. It sucks, but that's what people like. So how do you navigate that realm? I don't know.
In terms of his bars being heavily directed towards specific things, people, and ideas, Sean still did talk crazy here and delivered a series of witty quotables. But now with that said,
just vibe music got stale and old fast for me. I wanted talent, something new. We're definitely getting new talent. In either like genre or either example that I gave, we're getting talent that some of us might like, some of us might hate, but there's always talent for somebody in either hand from my example. That's one thing I can give that. But it's still separated. It don't necessarily need to be separated. And the black community, in my eyes, has some amazing people and amazing talented people. I wish they display a ton more. I completely agree with you, but you'll know what time it is when it comes to that, so it's not a surprise. Big Sean also just didn't have the best verse in almost any regard in any regard outside the cadence. Fair. His cadence was kind of all over the place too when you really go back and think about it. Like he was just spitting for the sake of spitting, so I get that part. And that's why people like academics need to stop promoting that violent shit. I want to see say the great things Toronto has for us. Let's say one day, the talented often gets sliced or silenced into. Wait, let me read that again. Jesus God, bro. Y'all sentences be kicking my ass. The talented often gets silenced in the problem. It's always the uphill battle. True. Bro, put that together. All these people thriving off negativity lacks mentors. Yo, Laura. I'm going to pin that. Laura, I'm going to pin that. That is the comment of the day. All those people thriving off negativity lacks mentors. You just said something that... I've been alluding and talking around what you said, but what you said is literally a lot of what I explained in a lot of my other topics. That's crazy. That's the sad part of it all. Facts.
When we look at Joey Badass's verse in this thing, and when we talk about it later,
I still love the Heart Part 5. I don't care what nobody says.
But now with that said, when we look at Joey Badass's verse in this thing, and when we talk about it later, and see how it almost feels like a successor to Kendrick Lamar's Control verse and that record as a whole in terms of what the sentiment of it is, well, as Big Sean was there and Big Sean is here, what we see is that he really didn't learn anything from that record, because both by going first and with just being Big Sean, I guess, he set himself up to be in a position where, despite coming in strong with very good material for his standards, he just got outperformed as this thing went on, as right after Sean tried to nudge Ab-Soul, as he told him that Soul's wife said that Sean was gonna wash him here, Soul showed him that that wasn't gonna happen, because with Ab-Soul being on this stage and defending both himself in a time where he has been trying to gain his own momentum to do things like tour, which that just got announced, and that
my brain is still buzzing off the fact that he took his cap off and everything he said was facts. Everything he said was facts, no cap. Dangerous.
That will definitely be an amazing experience. And at the same time, on top of his own career, he is also defending TDE, Kendrick, and the West Coast from what Joey said on the Ruler's Back and his other tracks. Soul had to get to work here, and of course, that's exactly what he did, as he showed that he is still one of the best lyricists on the planet. Because really, in a time where Soul is getting ready to tour and is trying to remind the world that he is one of the best rappers out, he did exactly this, as with such...
Don't kill me, Tiff. It's Kendrick and everybody else. Let's stop comparing other rappers to Kendrick. Don't kill me. I kind of don't disagree. I'm not even going to lie. In terms of competition or just for the sake of culture, I kind of don't disagree.
Such bars like the whole section of this performance where he is referencing Superman icons, characters, and lore. Yep. I mean, this is just the art of wordplay in hip-hop at its finest. But now with Ab-Soul's verse, the most pivotal part of this entire performance is, of course, when Soul gets specific and addresses Joey's claims directly and tells him, Joey, you put me in a sticky predicament. I had to show solidarity to my syndicate. And after Joey retorts, come on, Soul, Soul claps back and said that while pro-era the masters, that ain't even incorrect, it's still TDE till 3000 and forever. And now with Ab-Soul addressing how fellow TDE members Daylight and Ray Vaughn also had been giving Joey the work in their own diss tracks to him, Soul really let Joey know that while he has love for him and what he has done in hip-hop, as these guys are all MCs and they are all representing TDE, they have to go at Joey and make him regret what he said in the first place.
I ain't gonna lie though, out of all three of them, I gotta give Joey Badass his respect for his drip. Cause his drip was tough. And I pay attention, I have a fashion eye. I pay attention to what kind of outfits people be wearing. And trust and believe, bro, you got that shit on, bruh.
And they are just going to continue to compete with Joey for what he said on these tracks to start off the year, although as Soul states here, and it's very important, this is all for the sport of rap and for the betterment of the art form, which is why these guys are even in the same room in the first place, and why they are doing all of this, because again, there isn't actually any personal issue, but these guys just want to prove who is the best MC once and for all. But now after Soul ends this verse, which puts this beef into perspective and also tells Joey that he should be glad that Soul is not beefing with him directly, Joey takes over the entire last 3 minutes of this track, as he doesn't just stand on everything he said in the Ruler's Back and Sorry Not Sorry, but matter of fact, he doubles down on it and delivers the hard-hitting call to competition that I think we all have been waiting for. And now with this, Joey really delivers what I would say is a verse of the year candidate at this point, because with this line of bars, which read, first off, I could never hate the West Coast, but since coming for Joe, F it, then let's go. Must have forgot what Dot said on Control. There's still a bunch of sensitive rappers in they pajama clothes. I guess this ain't no East versus West. I just think that I'm the best. As a matter of fact, I know. I mean, with Joey making claims like these, he tells us everything about what he was trying to do in the first place with what he started the year off with, and what he...
Yo, Joey Badass, I forgot, Joey Badass been rapping for a hot minute, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. You see what Laura says. There are other rappers in a similar league to Kendrick, Ab-Soul, Dizzy Wright, Tech9, etc. I don't disagree, but mainstream-wise, yeah, it's Kendrick.
His mission going forward is about to be. which of course is that with all of this competition that he is trying to start and with what he is standing in, it seems like he just wants to spar whatever rapper wants to go face to face with him and prove that he is the very best no matter who is in front of him. And now while Soul is not engaging in this beef directly, and throughout this verse Joey specifically comes at TDE's very own Ray Vaughn and especially Daylight, and Daylight has already shown that he's been waiting on this and he will be getting ready to diss him back very soon, it seems like. When we put this into perspective, what I take Joey's words as is a call that is making it very clear that pretty much what he is trying to do is like a pickup game for rap, and as he references Kendrick Lamar's Control here and says that that is the type of energy that he is on, despite people forgetting what all that meant in the first place. What I think Joey is doing based on the way he started this thing and the plan and course he is taking it all in now is overall trying to create an exhibition where he is going to get to the point where after working his way up the ladder of TDE MCs and even just the West Coast as a whole, he earns Kendrick Lamar's respect and gets him to finally go back and forth with him, which is really, it seems like, what he has wanted this whole time. And when you look at what Joey is doing from this perspective and also see that this is all for the sport of rapping, I think you gotta give him credit because this is what hip-hop is all about at its very core, and with Joey just challenging everyone and getting ready for more lyrical competition, all for the love and sport of this thing, this really can be one of the most fun and refreshing things that we have seen in hip-hop in quite a while. And so going forward, while Joey just made a play for the throne and is showing that we are about to see a string of lyrical back and forths that if he can succeed, we'll try to get him to do this type of thing with Kendrick Lamar. I mean, while that's all in the future, for now what we can expect is Daylight and Ray Vaughn to respond with this. But in the meantime, as we wait for all of this, huge shout out to these three MCs for just putting hip-hop on and showing what actual competition in hip-hop can look like and what the art form should be when it's flourishing and people are just having fun and trying to prove who is the best. Because at the end of the day, this is what hip-hop is all about. And now with all that said, let me know, what do you think about what we have just seen from Joey, Soul, and Big Sean? Who do you think had the best verse? And be sure to share those scorecards and let me know who you think really took the crown. Now, if you made it to this point in the video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It helps me out a ton, and as it looks like we are about to see a lot more fun competition in hip-hop like this, really be sure to leave that like and subscribe so you can stick around and stay up to date with all of it. Now, if you made it to this point in the video,
Absol's still number one out of all of them, I ain't gonna lie. But it's Absol, Joey, Big Sean.
You already liked and subscribed. If you want to see how right before this all happened, I just went to Kendrick Lamar's tour and it changed my life. It was really that good. I am not overstating that. Check out the suggested video.
Wow. Even fantastic hip hop went to the Kendrick Lamar show. That is insane. That is insane. Bruh. We gotta make moves. Hey, I like that video. That was a good video. Not much more I need to say. We kind of covered everything. Salute to Wayno. Kind of covered majority of this topic. But it was still a good topic regardless. And I respect the conversation behind it, so it was wonderful to listen and watch. But we gotta get into his other video now, so it might get messy. Either way, let's see what we got next. Let's go.